I usually do this off camera, but for this video, I'll let you guys know what I'm doing. Y'all know what that is. A lot of times before I record my videos, I like to anoint myself to make sure that I'm coming in the vibration of the most purest form. To make sure that the words that I speak aren't my words, but the words of existence, of powa. So I do what my ancestors did. It's not anything new. It's just when you remember, you begin to gain understanding again. You see, it's the simple things that actually mean a lot. Without all of this that you see right now, I am nothing. Any inspiration that you get from me didn't come from me. Allah. Hey. Sometimes it's good to breathe. Understand that you and your mother are doing the same thing. So my essence is akin to the essence of creation itself. How are you, da? I ask you, what shall I be afraid of? In these concrete jungles, I understand that you do not feel like nobility. I understand that in the hood right now, you know what I'm saying, you in the jungle right now, you're in the concrete jungle. You don't feel like a Shishem right now. I feel you, little homie. You out here getting 440 on. It's just a hum in the city. Like you don't get to understand and relax and pause for a second. You don't feel like power man. So if you don't feel like power man, how could you feel like the power hatan? On this vibration, power hawa tan. You don't feel like how you should feel, and I understand that. But when you come back to what you came from, when you take off all the idolatry of this wicked world, and you see things for the purest form, you understand how to. There we go. Put some on my thyroid real quick. Yeah, let's get it together. Yeah. There we go. When you come back to nature, you realize that you are amongst friends, amongst allies. And you begin to see how the chips really stack up. You begin to understand that when you see the deer, you see an ally. When you see the squirrel running up a tree looking for acorns, you see a friend. When you see the eagles flying above your head, you know that you have birds out there watching you. Because we know we got them ghetto birds just like in Avatar. You know what I'm saying? Them little helicopters that's out here flying around, watching the indigenous population. We understand that the enemy, they got their birds, but we have existence. We have purity. We have law. The law is everlasting. The law is abundant. As long as there's good sense in this vessel, it will be a sounding board for the law of the Creator. For the breath of Hawa. I am a Sina Lagu. I am. Let me show y'all a little something real quick. I don't know if you guys can see that right now, but it's a little chilly out here. And there happens to be goosebumps on my arm. I'm gonna take y'all left and I'm gonna take y'all right. We're gonna cross. Light bulb moment. Anyway. We see it as just goosebumps, correct? Like, oh, it's a little cold outside, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes, you know, the little building blocks on our skin, you know what I'm saying, they just start popping up. And they appear to be what, you know what I'm saying, modern society will call a goosebump. We can go with that. That sounds nice. Okay. Goosebump, right? Alright. Let me show you something else. What are these? Would you call that a goosebump as well? Or would you call it survival? Would you call it knowing what to do when others don't? What is a cedar tree? Evergreen. So no matter if it's cold, no matter if it's hot, don't matter. It gon' always be green. What have we learned so far? We learned that in the law, although you have your ups and although you have your downs, you remain constant because your flow is everlasting. Whether you're in the hot waters or whether you're amongst a whole bunch of cold shoulders, powa reigns supremely. The breath is constant. Because so is your protection. Then, Hawa Shu Hawa assembled all the tribes of Hawa Israel at Shechem. He summoned the elders, leaders, judges, and officials of all of Hawa Israel. And they presented themselves before Hawa. Joshua said to all the people, "This is what Hawa, the creator of Hawa Israel, says. Long ago, your ancestors, including Terah, the father of Abraham and Nahor, lived beyond the Euphrates River. And worshipped other gods. But I took your father Abraham, from the land beyond the Euphrates. But I took your father Abraham from the land beyond the Euphrates and led him throughout Canaan and gave him many descendants. I gave him Isaac, and to Isaac I gave him Hawa, Kob, and Esau. I assigned the hill country of Seir to Esau, but Hawa, Kob, and his family went down to Egypt. Then I sent Moses and Aaron, Hawa, Mach, and Aaron, and I afflicted the Egyptians by what I did there. And I brought you out. Let's get it. We understand, you know what I'm saying, this, I'm saying, original man vibration, that the entire pie is ours. I did not stutter. The Creator gave this wholly to his seed. Whole. 22 divided by 7. 3.14. You have the Sabbath day for a reason. That's what I'm saying. It says, the Egyptians, by what I did there, and I brought you out. We know that Egypt, you know what I'm saying, is over here on this part of the pie though. The part of the pie that nobody want to talk about, but everybody want. Yeah, that pie. We understand the work that's been put in to show us the desolation that's happened in Utah, the desolation that's happened in Peru and Bolivia, and all throughout the Yucatan. We understand that the Toltecs, the Maya, powa, the Arawak, we understand that these people are the book. These are the tribes of Moses, of Hawamak, given the law to lead the whole world, formed by the hands of Hawa. So we understand that Egypt is not just a land, but Egypt is a mentality. Egypt is a way of understanding. So we understand that the Egypts that are in our life right now, we understand that the low and the high is controlled by Hawa. So our job is remaining constant, evergreen. Understanding that we're going through a chastening process at this moment, understanding that the things that are happening in our lives are happening to us for a reason. You can't look around and compare your situation to other people, because when you get to the top of that mountain, will you then be comparing yourself to the people that you're looking down upon? The people at the bottom of the mountain. You understand, you understand that when you begin to climb this mountain called the tree of life, called the law, it's going to come with its ups and downs. It's going to come with its peaks and valleys. It's a mountain. Just like Egypt can be juxtaposed to the lower self of man, we can understand that the Egypt that you're going through right now, the troubles that you're going through right now, remain constant in the law of Hawa. And he will bring you out of it. Hawa is whole. When I brought your people, verse 6, when I brought your people out of Egypt, you came to the sea, and the Egyptians pursued them with chariots and horsemen, and as far as the Red Sea, but they cried to Hawa for help. And he put darkness between you and the Egyptians. He brought the sea over them and covered them. You saw with your own eyes. What I did to them, what I did to the Egyptians. Then you lived in the wilderness for a long time. When it comes to the purification process, you understand that sometimes a diamond has to be purified for just a little bit longer. You understand that this diamond that you're purifying is going to live in a greater purpose. It's going to have a greater understanding than the rest of the diamonds that you've purified up to this point. So although the diamond might not like the chastening process, when it's fully grown, it'll understand why it had to go through it. So yes, you might be in a wilderness right now. You're in a state of consternation. You're getting hit left and right with different, you know what I'm saying? Like this happening to you, that happening to you. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff around you falling apart. You don't know what to do. You see people around you, they out here having success. But what if your success is not their success? What if your mission is not their mission? You gotta understand that you're going through a purification process right now. A so-called wilderness right now. Just like how our ancestors were brought out of the wilderness, so will you be. I brought you to the land of the Amorites who lived east of the Jordan, the Hawa Jordan. They fought against you, but I gave them into your hands. I destroyed them from before you and took possession of their land. When Balak, son of Zippor, the king of Moab, prepared to fight against Hawa Israel, he sent for Balaam, son of Beor, to put a curse on you. But I would not listen to Balaam. So he blessed you again and again. And I delivered you out of his hand. Then you crossed the Hawa Jordan and came to Jericho. The citizens of Jericho fought against you, as did also the Amorites, Perizzites, Canaanites, Hittites, Girgashites, Hivites, and Jebusites. You understand that as we look around right now, we see our people dying. We see our people going through all these different types of problems. When we look around, we see that we have no other allies but us. We all we got. So all these other so-called nations aren't the original seed of Hawa. And we know jealousy sometimes leads to an envious heart. And if I can't be you, I'll join those that want to beat you. But guess what? But I gave them into your hands. I set the hornet ahead of you, which drove them out before you. Also the two Amorite kings, you did not do it with your own sword and bow. We know that when we're swinging, it's not us swinging. It's Hawa. It's existence. It's the law. So we must always remain constant, always remain humble. No matter how high the Creator takes us. No matter if He makes us a king or if He makes us a peasant. Remain humble. Because it's the Creator's sword that's cutting down all these hijacks around us. It's the information of Hawa that strengthens us so we can cut down the hijacks. It's the ruach, the breath, the spirit, the soul, the understanding, the wisdom of being held in the yod, the yod of the Creator right next to the breastplate. We understand that the Levitical priests, their breastplates, diamonds. Because you are the diamond that shines in the eyes of the Creator. That's what you are. And you will continue to be at the bottom because you have a higher purpose. It doesn't matter if you gain success in this kingdom ain't yours. Your kingdom is of a higher dimension, of a higher purpose. So you're always going to feel like you're at the bottom when you're up here. But when you get back to what you naturally are, you see that you are the Dawn daughter of it all. Verse 13, so I gave you a land on which you did not toil, and cities you did not build, and you live in them and eat from them, vineyards and olive groves that you did not plant. Now fear Hawa and serve him with all faithfulness. Throw away the gods of your ancestors. Throw away the gods your ancestors worshipped beyond the Euphrates River and in Egypt, and serve Hawa. Before you have to call the name of any other so-called deity that might be ringing in your head right now, you had to first do something. What's understood don't gotta be explained. You just got the message. But if serving Hawa seems undesirable to you, then choose for yourself this day whom you will serve. whether the gods your ancestors served beyond the Euphrates, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land you are living. But as for me and my house, we will serve Hawa. Then the people answered, far be it from us to forsake Hawa to serve other gods. It was Hawa, our Creator himself, who brought us and our parents up out of Egypt from the land of slavery and performed those great signs before our eyes. He protected us on our entire journey and among all the nations through which we traveled. And Hawa drove out before us all the nations, including the Amorites who lived in the land. We too will serve Hawa because he is our Creator. Hawa Shu Hawa said to the people, you are not able to serve Hawa. He is a whole Creator. He is jealous. I hope y'all get the picture by now. Existence itself has a love song with the so-called Negro. Hawa is a jealous Creator. He will not forgive your rebellion and your sins if you forsake Hawa and serve foreign gods. I'm gonna read that one more time for you. I'm gonna read that one more time for you. Hawa is a jealous Creator. He will not forgive your rebellion and your sins if you forsake Hawa and serve foreign gods. He will turn and bring disaster on you and make an end of you after he has been good to you. You ask yourself, why us? We understand that we're meant to be at the top, not the bottom, because we are bread. Right, brethren? Right, breath-rin? You know, bread rises. But as long as we don't want to be molded and rolled in the literal law of existence, not of no religion, not of no man, of the ground that you walk, the air that you breathe, when the Hawa Aktak dawns, the autochthonous people of this world, placed here by the hands of Hawa, forsake the hands that literally formed them and put breath inside of them, what do you think would happen to them? You are meant to be clothed in royal garments. But as long as we forsake the name of Hawa, of existence, of the breath, this illusion of existence that we now see in this three-dimensional paradigm will continue to be our reality. Verse 21, but the people said to Joshua, no, we will serve Hawa. Then Hawa said, you are a witness against yourselves, that you have chosen to serve Hawa. Yes, we are witnesses, they replied. Now then, said Joshua, throw away the foreign gods that are among you and yield your hearts to Hawa, the creator of Hawa, Israel. And the people said to Joshua, we will serve Hawa and obey him. On that day, Hawa made a covenant for the people. And there at Shechem, he reaffirmed for them decrees and laws. And Joshua recorded these things in the book of the law. This is a forever thing. This is an everlasting, ever-nourishing covenant that we have with all of nature, all of existence itself. So when I say you have powa that no one else has, my Naga, you have the powa. If the Creator want to give you the power to blast a goddamn rosin gun out your damn hand, you better tell people to back up. If the Creator want to give you the power to literally start teleporting, instant transmission from point A to point B, tell them back up. You don't know the Creator I serve. You don't know that Hawa is in control of all. And if I submit myself to only Hawa, to only the breath, how powerful could the Creator swing me? How powerful of a hammer could I actually become? That's a question you have to answer yourself. Recorded all these things in the book of the law of Hawa. Then he took a large stone and set it up there under the oak tree, near the whole place of Hawa. See, he said to all the people, it's not just see as in just seeing, it's see as in understand your responsibility as well. Because Ayan is I, the eyes. I don't know, I'm just vibrating. And maybe just having the organism of an eye isn't really using the eye for its whole capabilities. I don't think y'all ready for that part. Y'all probably already think I'm crazy enough. We'll get to that part eventually. But we understand that when we see something that we want, we actually take the responsibility of understanding it, of seeing it. Because you know, in Avatar, when he was talking about, or when the two little white men was talking, or so-called white men, you know what I'm saying, whatever they are, but they was talking, and like he was trying to describe to the people their words and stuff, and he was describing a word that meant to see them, and he was like, it wasn't just to see them, but it was to see them, like to be with them. So when we see when we see that Joshua says see to the people, it is something that this cursed English language, the spell of English, can't even bestow properly and correctly. See, he said to the people, this stone will be a witness against us. It has heard all the words of Hawa, has said to us. It will be a witness against you if you are untrue to Hawa. Then Joshua dismissed the people, each to their own inheritance. After these things, Joshua, son of Nun, the servant of Hawa, died at the age of 110, and they buried him in the land of his ancestor, of his inheritance, at Timoth Serah, in the hill country of Ephraim, north of Mount Gosh. Hawa Israel served Hawa throughout the lifetime of Hawa Shu Hawa. And all the elders who outlived him and who had experienced everything Hawa had done for Hawa Israel. And Hawa Sif's bones, which the Israelites, Hawa Israelites, had brought up from Egypt, were buried at Shechem, in the tract of land that Hawa bought for 100 pieces of silver from the sons of Hamor, the father of Shechem. This became the inheritance of Hawa Sif's descendants. And Eleazar, son of Aaron, died and was buried at Gibeah, which had been allotted to his son Phinehas. One thing we got to understand is the scriptures are deeper than what we've been led for them to believe. When we read Daniel and we see that the books were sealed, what if the best way to seal something is to put it right in everyone's face? But only the people who are meant to have it will actually get to see it. So then we read scriptures like this, and it said Eleazar, son of Aaron, died and was buried at Gibeah, which had been allotted to his son Phinehas in the hill country of Ephraim. I don't know. Maybe. We know that word Phinehas can be juxtaposed to the word dragon, Drakan. And maybe when we understand that these are not just goosebumps, and we understand that the building blocks of creation are literally inside of our body. We understand that the power of levitation can be given to you at any given time. You think I'm playing, don't you? Let's get a little biology going real quick. How does a dragon fly? Or how did the dragon fly? I don't know, maybe it has some type of, I don't know, gases or something in its stomach, which literally allowed its midsection to be a little lighter so its wings on top could actually fly. It has certain chemical compounds literally inside of its stomach. When they, I don't know, when they reacted together, I don't know, literally gave the dragon, along with his wings, power to fly. And also power to speak words. I don't know. Maybe when we look at our feet, we see that our feet, I don't know, some of our feet, I don't know if y'all like, I don't know, superheroes out there, I don't know. Some of our feet, or our feet, could be magnetized with literal electromagnetism of the earth itself. So the power of propelling, like Superman, like the man with his hands raised, is yours. And what if when you were flying with the long ass hair that we had? I'm talking about long hair. And what if when the goosebumps, I don't know, when our hand actually came a little bit closer, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't as set apart. It actually looked like we looked like a tree. What if when we started doing all that, we literally looked like dragons flying throughout the air? You know that these 9 ether hair follicles, hair coils, connect us to the electromagnetic field literally around us that we're not seeing right now. Connects us to the ether, the subatomic energy that we're not seeing right now. And we've been told that this is just hair when it is not just hair. We've been told our body is just a body when it's not just a body. So when it says, which had been allotted to his son Phineas in the hill country of Ephraim, Phineas is the dragon that understood that it belonged on a mountain top. The book is you. It's alive. When you fully come back to Hawa, powa shall be returned back to you. Understanding, wisdom, shall be given to those who serve existence. Those that see that it's not just about them, but it's for the whole. Because the floor plan of the hand, the floor plan of creation is in their hands. And when they link together, the pulse that's literally running through our hands becomes a link. So no matter if you're being twisted, no matter if you're being roped down in a dark path, because we just read the scripture, Creator just told us he put darkness between them and the Egyptians. The Creator controls the darkness and the light. Doesn't matter where you go. Powa shall be with you. When you look around, you see your brothers. Become the law to them that they've never seen before. Serve Hawa like you've never served before. Because you were wholly made for a purpose. The Ruach that was given to you for a purpose. Seek the law of Hawa. Even when you go through your lows, never forget Hawa. Even when you're at the top, constantly praise Hawa. Be one, bread.